I have had the Google Pixel 7a from new when it was released in May 2023, and that was 7 months ago. So it's only appropriate that I conduct a 7-month review. Today's video will not be spec driven, and it's more of a 7-month review of using the device on a daily basis, as I've already made a full review video of the Google Pixel 7a. So let's start off by looking at the build quality and design of this device. In terms of the front display, yeah, really nice, produces really good picture quality, and yes, you do have these bezels, thick bezels on these around, but honestly, when you're watching content, you don't even notice. And the other thing to note is that it is a flat screen all around, so you don't have any curved edges. So if that's your thing, this is going to be right up your street. In terms of the back here, I really love this particular color here. And the other thing I like about this device as well is that you'd never know that the back was made of plastic. Honestly, even to this day, I still scratch my head because I just can't believe it is. Yeah, it's made of plastic, but I guess it keeps the weight down, so that's great. The other good thing as well is that it does hide fingerprints really well, especially this color anyway. And yes, I know if you know, if I bring it really close like that, yes, you can see them there, but overall, from a distance, you'd never notice. Now, the only disappointment I have with this particular design of the 7a is that the color above the camera visor and below it is the same, because on the Pixel 6a I love that one, because in fact, let me bring this one here. Look at this, you have this two-tone color combination, and I really love this, and I was hoping that they would continue this theme with this 7a, but unfortunately they didn't, so that's a shame. Again, it's just a personal preference thing anyway. So moving on, now you have obviously the button configuration here. Now if you're someone that only uses Google Pixel phones, it's not going to be an issue. But if you're someone like myself, you have other Android devices, the button configuration is totally different. So here you have the volume rocker at the bottom and the on-off power button on the top, whereas on other Android devices it's the other way around. So what it means is when I flick between the different devices, between these Google devices and other Android devices, always, you know, one minute I think this is the on-off power button, but it's not, and vice versa. So that's a bit of a pain, it really is, but it is what it is. You know, it'd be nice if Google would just follow what the convention, you know, everybody has it the other way around. The other thing that I just want to highlight as well when it comes to the button configuration, now just so you know, I've got both devices at the same level there at the bottom. So if you look here, okay, so in fact, let me just bring that. Okay, so hopefully you should be able to see that the button configuration on the Pixel 7a on the right is lower, so you can see that, than on the Pixel 6a on the left. And I suspect a lot of people were complaining that on the 6a the button configuration was too high. The good thing with Google Pixel devices, including the Pixel 7a here, is the software, because as you'll know, it is very clean. You don't have duplication of apps, and as a result, it doesn't eat into your internal storage capacity of your device. Now, when it does come to the storage, one of the issues I do have is that this only comes in a 128GB model, which I have to say is too small. The reason why I say that is because you have fantastic cameras on here, so naturally you want to take lots of videos, and as you can see here, look, use what, 51GB just on videos alone, because the cameras lend themselves for you to use them, and as you can see, you'll fill this thing up very quickly. Now, yes, you could argue that you can take up cloud storage, or if you've got the Google one, it's not an issue, but maybe somebody purchasing this doesn't want to have to pay extra. They just want to pay the price for the device and be on their way. So like I said, I just think it's a shame that you have the beautiful cameras on this device. Fantastic, honestly, even better than some flagship ones. Takes excellent photos, and you can shoot videos up to what, maximum of at least 4K 60 on the rear and 4K 30 on the front. So it would have been nice to see a 256GB model as an option, but I get it. If they do that, then the price between the 7A and the 7 becomes a little bit more blurred. But again, something to someone from Google's watching, yeah, definitely offer this in a 256GB model. The other thing I want to talk about is the price. So obviously this was $50 more than the Pixel 6A, and I think it's justified, given the extra features that it's got. Like I said, you've got clear calling, you've got the biometrics, you've got wireless charging, and many other things as well. So yeah, so I think the price is justified. So when this was released, it was $499. But now, as I filmed this, it's just coming up to the back end of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and these were selling on Amazon unlocked for what, $375, obviously plus taxes. And I think that's a real steal. And even once the Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals are over, I still think you can pick these up for a really good price. This device does have stereo speakers with one at the bottom, and if you look on the top, there isn't a speaker up there. Yes, you've got a microphone here, so you may be asking yourself, where's the sound coming from? Well, I'll tell you. Again, it's very subtle, but believe me when I tell you that in between the top there, the screen there, if you see here, look ever so closely, there's a gap there, and it goes all the way from there, and it finishes somewhere around about here, and that's where the sound output is coming from. That's where the second sort of speaker is. And again, I've had no issues with it whatsoever. Yeah, the sound quality is really good, and on top of that, you do get Dolby Atmos. In terms of the refresh rate, this device comes with the standard 60 Hz refresh rate, and the beauty now is that can be bumped up to 90 Hz. And to be honest, even at 60 Hz, I don't have an issue with this device. And again, just to put things into perspective, you've got the latest iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, and those have 60 Hz refresh rate. But guess what? Apple is selling millions of units of those devices. So again, the refresh rate shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. When it comes to heating issues, now most devices, I'm fully aware across all different brands, yes, they do get hot now and again, especially if you're using the cameras. But I do notice with the Google devices, yeah, they do get hot around here. Again, I don't have an issue with them getting hot, but what tends to happen is when it does get hot, it shuts down. So it'll either shut down or it'll tell you that it's too hot and the device is shutting down. So meaning when you want to, maybe in the middle of filming, you have to stop because again, it's too hot, everything shuts down and you have to wait for the device to cool down. So whatever you were going to photo or video, mainly video, has gone on past. So that's the only thing I don't like with these Google Pixel devices, and that's a shame because this one has the Tensor G2 processor, so I was expecting a lot better. The other thing I like about the Google Pixel phones, and including this one, and that's the cameras. Oh my goodness, they are glorious. Obviously, yes, you've got all the functions here. So you've got your night sight panorama. So here, if I go, you've got the long exposure, and if I go along here, the camera cell. So you've got panorama, and then you've got the photosphere. Now, one thing I have noticed is that since the recent update, I think Android 14, you don't have a more section. In the more section, you used to have at least 2 or 3 others. You had the photosphere, the panorama, and then I think you had the Google lens or something to that effect. But I've noticed since the Android 14, it's not there. But again, no issues with this at all. So if I go here, so now it's for video, so obviously you've got pan, then you've got video, slow motion, time lapse. So again, all in working order. The photos and videos taken with this camera on this device are amazing. So rather than me just tell you about it, let me just show you some samples. If you're enjoying this video, a subscribe to the channel below would be stupendous, and it is free to do, as my analytics has shown less than 3% of you are subscribed to the channel. And also by hitting that notification bell, you will not miss out on any upcoming videos. One of the reasons why I feel that this device should come in a 256GB model as an option, and that is down to the internal storage, because right out of the box the device does come with about 13, 14 or 15 gigabytes. So let's say it's 14 gigabytes. So when you deduct that from the 128 gigabytes, you're only left with 114 gigabytes. So again, really not enough to play with, and you will fill this thing up very quickly. Call quality when using this device for making or receiving phone calls is really good, and in the time I've used it, no one has ever complained about the call quality whenever I'm on the call to them. The other thing to note is that if you're going to be using this in a noisy environment, there is a new feature with the Pixel 7a, and that is the clear calling. So if you enable that feature, that should drown out any background noise. And I have to be honest, I've never used this feature, and it's very unlikely I will use the feature. Reason being is because I always wear wireless earbuds. When it comes to battery consumption, yes, that is definitely a subjective matter, and it'll differ from person to person. What I will say is that I've been able to use this for a day without charging the device. And what I will say is that with the battery, do not let it get too low before you charge up the device, because this does take an eternity to charge up fully. So again, do be warned. In terms of biometrics, you do have, especially now with this Pixel 7a, which I really like, is face unlock. In fact, since we're here, let me try and put it into practice, see if it will work. So again, without from behind the camera. Oh yes, look at that. It's unlocked, and look, unlocked by face. So there you go, it does work. And again, I've had no issues with it. Where you may struggle is if there's low light, and you will get a message at the bottom of your screen that will tell you that the face unlock will not work because of the low lights. Other than that, no issues. Either just put your pin in or use your fingerprint, and then you're on your way. So in terms of the wireless charging, yeah, you do have wireless charging with the Pixel 7a, so that's definitely an upgrade on the 6a, and yeah, it is good. I cannot complain. The only downside to it is that the wireless charging is capped at 7.5 watts again, which is really slow. So again, I would highly recommend not letting this device get too low before you charge it, otherwise you're in for a long wait. This device is packed with a lot of features and far too many for me to go through in this video, so I'll just run through some of my favorite ones quickly. So you have the now playing feature. The device will pick up the name of the song and the artist, and you'll see it on your lock screen. Really cool. What I should mention is that you will need to set this feature up within your settings menu, and also it will not pick up every single song. The songs it will pick up are the ones stored on its database, so don't panic if there's a song that the device hasn't picked up. And the other good thing with this feature as well is that, let's say you heard something a week or two ago, it has the history going back 2 months. So I think that's really, really good. Yeah, I do rely on that feature a lot, and it's great because you don't need to pick it up like Shazam, turn on the app. No, once you set it in the settings, it will just automatically work, whether it's in your bag, trouser, pants, anywhere, or lying dormant. Excellent. Okay, moving on, you've got the dictation. I think, as everybody knows, Google do it the best. It's on point, it's accurate. Yes, sometimes there will be the odd misfiring words, but overall a really good feature. And the great thing as well is that it will pick up any grammatical errors and also punctuation. And the other thing as well is that, yeah, it does pick up profanities accurately. You have a nice feature on this device is the Magic Eraser. So I think everyone's aware that one's really good because it will just get rid of any objects or people that you do not want. One of the other features that I like on this device, and I do use a lot, is the speech enhancement feature. And again, that's really good if I'm whenever I am out and about, because again, I do use this for filming a lot. And again, it has fantastic cameras. So the speech enhancement feature, excellent. Basically what it does is it drowns out any background noise, and it does amplify your voice, and it's not a gimmick, it works. I'll cover that in a few videos on my channel. You also have the ability to hide the front-facing camera on the Pixel 7a, which you're currently watching this on now, without the punch hole camera getting in the way. Another cool feature on here is taking a screenshot. A number of ways to do it. The way I like to do it is you can double tap. Try that now. Look at that. Double tap there. And then look, I can edit this, I can crop, I can write on here, text. Let me just put something on here so you can see that. Let's put this is meant to be test. I can have it in different colors. That's pretty cool. And then look, change the font style, and then once I'm happy, I can share it or save it. Again, those are just very few quick run-throughs, so many more. And what I love about all of these features is that they are also on the standard Pixel 7 and the Pixel 7 Pro. So again, no dumbing down because you have the Pixel 7a. The other thing I love about this device is that because of its size, you know, where phones are really big nowadays, but due to its size, it does mean that this is compact, so it will fit into most bags, trousers, pants. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. My name is Shola. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another episode. Peace.